spec. It's almost like stock. Just feels a little tighter, and the seating is obviously a little bit snugger because it's using this Recaro SPG. But outside of that, we still have the factory transmission, and everything works as it should. AC, as you can see, we're just cruising around, no problem. Drivability, it's a little loud, obviously, but drivability is really good, even with these locking LSDs. You can hear that those LSDs kick every time I'm going around a turn slightly or anything like that. You can really feel it. Suspension, we're using the HKS Hypermax suspension. It's really good. Obviously, at Haltech, we've got everything set up here so we can monitor what we need to, including ethanol content, which honestly around here, anything over 70 is pretty good. But it just cruises so well. The brakes are really good too on this with those Brembos and the DBA rotors, pads, and everything that goes with it. The brakes feel superb. Just a really nice driving experience. Drink up. Good, good, good. All right, full tank of ethanol, 76%. So yeah, always, it seems to be coming in always short of 85. Anything over 70 I'm okay with, but 85 obviously gives us a little more headroom for performance. 76 though, it'll dial it back a little bit, but not too much. It'll still be pretty good. Nice leisurely drive. Hopefully, this view gives you a little bit of a glimpse at what it's like driving around in Dusty. free, you guys can feel what this thing, or I should say see what this thing can do. It gets squirrely. Make sure the diff is dialed in. It gets a little squirrely, but we'll roll into it first gear. You ready? Here we go. Oh man. Third gear breaking loose. This thing is outrageous. The top end pull is unstoppable. I don't even know how to describe it for what it is, but hopefully that comes through across in the camera, because when I tell you it is terrifying, it is terrifying. This thing just unloads all 4 tires. First, second, third gear, you can hear it. It's unreal. It really is. And I am just, oh man, my blood is pumping right now. I am just so happy with this car. Every time I drive it, every time I get it out, even if it's just going to the freaking gas station. Dusty is such an animal. I love this car. I'll give you a little bit of the tour outside. How about that? There we go, the classic chop. I never get tired of showing this car. I hope you guys don't mind seeing it a million times. And if you haven't seen it before, check it out. She's not the fastest Skyline out there, I will say that. I don't want to try and pretend like I am. But I think for what I've got here, HKS 2530s, cams, all the goods that go with it, I think for what it's working with, it's a pretty potent car. Considering also that it's really lightweight with all the carbon everywhere, it's a pretty hellacious drive. And I hope it shows on a camera. That's my biggest thing, because this thing, all 4 tires, I mean, you can feel it. It's like all of a sudden it just starts to go, and there's no end to the top end. There's no end. I could rev this thing to 10,000, no problem. Well, I say no problem. It'll get there. It does not want to stop making power at all. But it just goes and goes and goes, and the higher the gear, the faster it pulls. It's unreal. It really is. Every time I drive it, it surprises me every time again. And I mean, you know, I'm used to driving these 600, 700 horsepower R32s and other cars that we drive, that we have, that I tune all day long, and it still doesn't feel the way this car does. This car just has this length of pull that is unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, there's Dusty. Hopefully you guys enjoy the little drive to the gas station with me, and we'll do more as it comes, but